everyone, I'm going to do a video today on drugstore alternatives to the colors inside of this 5-color Dior palette. This is a limited edition palette in Bonne Etoile. I think that's how it's pronounced. I don't speak French, so I could be totally wrong. I already did a blog post on this when I first bought the palette, but nobody really reads my blog. So, and I just started it, so, you know, that's only fair. I think only people are actually searching for something particular, but only a couple people have, you know, read it, so I thought I would do a video. So anyway, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to show you each color, and then I'll do like a swatch side by side. If you want to see the pictures to where maybe you could tell the color and them a little bit more accurately, do check out the blog. I will link that post below. So anyway, I'm going to start out with this color right up here, and this is the light, kind of like a light seafoam green shade. So, and, okay, so here it is. So it's not super pigmented. If you're familiar with Dior shadows, they are not chalky. They're very silky and sheer. They're not super pigmented. Most of the time they're like sheer washes of color. So if that's not your thing, then you're probably not going to like Dior shadows, and you're probably not going to want to spend the $60 on the palette. So the dupe I have for it is in this CoverGirl palette, and then this is in Mirror Mirror, and it's got 3 different shades of silvers, and then it's got this shade. This shade is obviously the dupe for it. And since this, again, swatch is so sheer, it's the closest that I found to it. So there's Dior, and there's the CoverGirl. So I hope you can see that. Again, I don't have a viewfinder, and I do have pictures in the blog, so you'll be able to check that a little bit easier. So the next shade I'm going to show you is a stark teal, and this is pretty much the color that I bought it for. I thought it was so unique, and I felt like I had to have it. So there it is. It's that really dark teal shade, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So here it is right here. And my drugstore alternative for it isn't exact, but it's very close. This is in the Rimmel Quad in Crown Jewels, and it's obviously this shade that's the closest. Ansley's talking to herself in the living room apparently. So here it is. So as you can see, it's not as deep, but it's pretty close. You would definitely be able to deepen it up if you needed to. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you the other dupe that is in this quad, and that is for this shade. And I keep saying dupe, but alternative, because obviously it's not exactly the same. But anyway, the alternative right here for this shade is this light shade right here. So let me swatch both of those. So here is the Dior, and then the dupe for it is slightly a different hue, but I did the other day, I wanted to test these to make sure that they looked the same, and so I did do a look on my eyes, and they came off looking the same. So the Dior, you can see, is a little bit deeper and more metallic. So I wonder, I didn't even check this before, but I'm going to check this CoverGirl one, and let's see. I think that one has like a slight pinkish hue to it though, so it's not going to match. Yeah, that's not, the Rimmel's actually still the closest. But you can still achieve, you know, similar looks with it. Okay, and so then the next shade I'm going to do, it's going to be this green shade right here, up in the corner. And it's like a deep green with bronze glitter. And it's very finely milled glitter. It's not super glitter, but... So here it is. And the color I found to be most similar to it, I actually had to mix the two shades. So in this Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette, there's the eyelid shade and the crease shade. I had to mix both of these to get that exact shade, because although this one has the glitter, like the crease shade has like the glitter and the deep green, this shade's slightly brighter, but when you mix the eyelid shade with it, which I tested these with brushes, so here they are. Here's the Wet n Wild mixed. I think I probably put a little too much of the bright green, but as you can see, again, very similar. And and that's another thing is, it's really easy to mix shades to get the shade that you want. If you don't have a huge collection or you don't want to go out and buy a ton of stuff, if you have like staple colors, you can always go out, you know, and do that. So the last shade I want to show you is this middle shade, and cleaned off my fingers, and it is a deep brown with again it's got like the same bronzy glitter that the last shade had in it, only this is a brown with that bronzy glitter. So put it up here. So here it is. And the other dupe for it is another Wet n Wild palette. And I believe, I forget what this is called, again it's in my blog, but this is their spring limited edition ones. And this is still available at my Rite Aid, so you can still get these. And it's the bottom definer shade. Again, it's a brown with bronzy glitter, so it was very close. So I will swatch it right next to it. And here it is. So there's the Wet n Wild, there's the Dior. So all of the drugstore palettes cost around $4 to $5 each, and the Dior palette is $60. So as you can see, that all the shades are very, very close. So if you can't find the Dior palette and you're really wanting those shades, or you don't want to spend all that money, you can spend $20 on the drugstore palettes, and plus you get the other shades that go along with it. Or you can, you know, spend the $60 on the Dior. But if you can't get it, these are great alternatives. So anyway, that is all. Check out the blog post if you want to see better photos of it. I'm not quite sure how they look because, again, I don't have a viewfinder. And I hope this was helpful for anybody who was on the hunt for alternatives for those colors or couldn't get their hands on the Dior palette. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!